demise again, but you must learn to move past it, Livy." Unfortunate demise. Such an understatement of the heartbreak she and her mother had been made to suffer. Familiar grief twisted through her. "And I thank you for sparing me such pain, but I am not hiding from the ton. I am living a life I am truly happy with." His fingers stroked over her knuckles in a soothing caress, but his lips remained firm. "Though we had the best intentions, we did you a disservice having you here at River Hills running wild, fishing, swimming in the lake at all odd hours, selling your paintings when you should have been in town, attending enough social polish to land yourself a well-heeled gentleman." A well-heeled gentleman? "Father!" "Come, Livy, surely you expect to be married some day." He said it gently, but there was steel underlying his tone. "Eventually, if I develop an attachment to someone." "Many people have formed comfortable and lasting attachments without the finest sentiments guiding them. I wish I could grant you your desire to remain unmarried. I dearly wish I could leave more for my daughters if I should perish." His eyes darkened. "I wish for many things, my dear." She knew for what he wished, that the law made it fit for him to leave more than £500 per year to his wife, Lady Helena, and £100 to Livy and her younger sister, Ophelia. They were not to benefit from or partake in any of the houses and moneys the Viscount owned, for everything was entitled and belonged to William, her stepfather's son and heir. There was a modest cottage in Derbyshire, which was not entailed, and she, her mother and her sister, were to move there when father died. With the income they had, and if they practised economy, her family should have a comfortable life, though not a wealthy one. "Father, please, I do not need a husband, He patted her hand. "Hush now. Do not let this old man worry about you, Livy. You have been independent for far too long, and it's time for you to have another season to secure a husband." Her stomach knotted. The idea of wading through the painful gossips again was unbearable. Worse, there was a dreadful scandal in her past. The stain of her real father, Lord Harcourt, killing himself, was never to be overcome, even if years had passed since the tragedy. Her papa's cowardly actions had sullied Livy's character, as surely as if she had been the one with the gambling debts and a mistress he had found impossible to live without. It indicated a weakness of character that she might pass on to her sons. Once a woman marries, she is at the mercy of her husband. She has no rights of her own. I will have no rights. Everything I love to do will be curtailed. I would very much appreciate a gentleman who would let me be, but I do not think there is such a man." Her father grimaced. "I never thought you were romantic, my dear." "I simply do not want to make myself dependent on a man unless I would derive some benefit." Her mother had faced the mountain of debts her first husband had incurred. The creditors had taken everything that was not entailed or entrusted, and almost all the fixtures and fittings in their home had been sold to pay bills. If not for the benevolence of the Viscount, Livy was unsure how her mother would have fared. The hardships and endurances of those months after Papa's death had been unpleasant. After being turned out of their home within weeks, as Papa's heir claimed his inheritance, they had lived in a small, well-kept house at the generosity of cousin Iphigenia. And while they had been able to retain a cook and a housekeeper, they had to make do with no other servants. There had been days when food had been hard to procure, and even their housekeeper had eventually departed because Mother had been unable to pay her wages. That winter had been the coldest Livy had ever experienced.